So there are two things that are happening right now that are causing a great deal of consternation, particularly on the left. Jake Tapper's book about Joe Biden's decline and the associated cover up that went along with that, which I think is an accurate term at this point. That book is coming out. It's been getting a ton of press lately. And then earlier today, Sunday, it was announced that Joe Biden has been diagnosed with metastatic prostate cancer that has spread to his bones, which is horrific. It's, it's a bad, bad, bad health situation. It's very, very bad. It's like you hear that diagnosis and you're like, I don't think that's something that's very easily survived when you're 82 years old. And I've been seeing TikToks for a few days from folks on the left that are extremely angry about this focus on Joe Biden's decline during 2023 and 2024. And why are all these books coming out now? Why is everybody talking about this now? And, now they get to add in, leave the guy alone, he's dying kind of thing, to, kind of tone police everybody. And, I guess what I would say to people on the left, it's like, if you guys think that this issue is going away, you guys are nuts. You're nuts. And I'll give you a couple of examples. When Donald Trump was running for president in 2016 against Hillary Clinton, whether you think this was a reasonable thing to do or not, you remember that Friday in October when the Access Hollywood tape was released. And, when you're a star, you can do it. They let you do anything. You can grab them by the... That thing came out. Everybody thought Donald Trump was dead in the water. 2 days later, on a Sunday, was a debate between Trump and Hillary Clinton. And what did Trump do? He drummed up 20-year-old sexual assault allegations against Bill Clinton and brought 3 or 4 women who were Bill Clinton's accusers to the debate and held a press conference with them. These issues do not go away. And in more concrete terms, for now, who does it seem who's very likely going to run for president in 2028? Pete Buttigieg, who was a cabinet secretary under Joe Biden. If you don't think that he's going to get a million questions, well, you were in his cabinet. How did you not see his decline? And if you did, why didn't you say anything? Were you part of the cover-up? Did you lie to the American people? This is not going away. And it's not going to go away if Joe Biden does not survive his cancer. It's just not. That's political reality in the United States. Especially with this current crop of Republicans that we're dealing with these days. And I agree with some of these folks wholeheartedly that this level of focus on Joe Biden's cognitive and physical decline, while completely ignoring those things in Donald Trump, is something that's not fair, and it's something that's not reasonable. Donald Trump can barely string together a sentence at this point, and he's almost 80 years old. And he says he's going to run for a third term. Our media our media's coverage of Donald Trump over the last 10 years has failed in so many ways. So many ways. And I think that's one of the main areas in which our media has completely failed when it comes to reporting on Donald Trump. But, you know, to act like it's not a big deal or that it's getting too much coverage, that Joe Biden's inner circle, his family, his wife, his senior advisors were aware for 2 years before Election Day 2024 that Joe Biden was not going to be capable of serving a second term, and they lied to us. They lied to him. He's still out there now saying that the polling numbers showed that if he would have stayed in the race, he would have beaten Donald Trump. That's not true. There was no polling out there that showed that Joe Biden was going to beat Donald Trump. One thing that I don't know is whether Joe Biden was aware of how much he had declined cognitively and physically. But the people closest to him were absolutely aware of it. And some of them were members of his cabinet who are going to be running for president. Some of them were elected Democrats who might be running for president. And this is going to be top 3 in the things that they are questioned about during the 2028 campaign. And so it's like, you can pound your fists on the table and say, this isn't fair. Why are we talking about this? You can do that all you want and, you know, have moral indignation and whatever, you know, especially now that Joe Biden's been diagnosed with what he's diagnosed with. But if you think this is going away, you're fucking crazy, because it's not. It's really, really not. You know, Pete Buttigieg is already getting questioned about these issues at events that he's holding right now. Wait until he announces that he's running for president. Were you aware of Joe Biden's decline, and did you participate in the cover-up? Or were you not aware because you were being kept from Joe Biden by his inner circle so that you wouldn't see the decline? And how could you possibly function as a member of his cabinet if you were being denied access to him? There are no easy answers to those questions. I mean, there just aren't. You know, so I would strongly encourage people. I mean, and it's like, I want you to grasp what this was, okay? It was the senior most inner circle of the President of the United States and his wife and his family gaslighting and lying to the American people for 2 years about the physical and cognitive health of the president. If you want to try to downplay that, good luck. Good luck in that endeavor. Good luck. Because the vast majority of the electorate cared about it while he was still in the race. Something like 70% of the American public was like, he's not fit to serve a second term. He's not going to be physically able to serve a second term. That was before he dropped out. His senior advisors clearly didn't share that polling information with him, as they were lying to the rest of us. This issue is not going away. It just isn't.